So how should we do this, Sample? You're a fucking brainiac when it comes to this.
I mean, I guess in general, let's just start like from the top and like just go like slowly. And I definitely put like a discussion segment in. Maybe also like a segment where we talk about what we would have liked to see, like if we're missing some units that like desperately need a buff. Maybe also later on talk about like what chat has to say.
Okay.
Like we're 4 guys right now, so it's like it might get a little bit confusing otherwise.
Well,
Like
first and foremost, this is the second balance patch this year, isn't it?
I think so, right?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, this is pretty much heading into the direction that we all want, right?
What?
Smaller balance patches more often.
When was the last balance patch? Does anyone know?
Like
January?
early January, yeah.
January.
And it's pretty like it's not.
Yeah,
even
there's
that
been
small
two
of a balance patch.
since SWC.
Yeah. And it's not even such a small balance patch. Like they tackled. I mean, like it depends on how you look at it. I mean, just like moving around multipliers versus like actual game-changing stuff. But I think it's actually like mid-sized even. Not even that small.
So let's call this discussion. Ocho Cinco said a very good, like this is a very good title. 4 guys in 1 patch. Is this a nerf or is this a buff? Opinions.
It's a nerf.
It's a nerf?
Yeah, I would have to agree with Obabo on that one. But I know that there's a bunch of people saying the other, like the opposite. So I'm actually really curious about your point. What do you think, Loki?
I personally feel like this is a nerf, but also a buff. If that makes sense. An overall look at it, I would say it might be you're not gonna get this turn what do you call it, turn rotation as much as before because you lose 5%. But then again, this reflect damage also going to protect it from taking like instant nukes. But I don't know. I would say it's in the same state. Is what I would.
Thing is, since the strongest part about Ragdoll is his passive, and that's the only thing you use him for because the rest of his kit is useless.
Mm-hmm.
They want to shift power from just his passive into something else. So now they've made him a little bit more tanky with a little bit more damage, but he loses a third of his ATB. So like a 35k Ragdoll would be like 40k now after patch with this, but he loses ATB. That's like the difference.
Yeah. Okay. So we could say it's overall nerf because that's his main kit. But at the same time, I personally feel like it's a overtuned kit to begin with.
Yeah, like honestly, I feel like the point where like G3s when they first pick Ragdoll, that's just like not a healthy thing. And I think these sort of changes kind of go into the direction where it kind of offers a little bit more counterplay. Like the whole turn cycling thing might be slightly better against it now. And overall, yeah, it's going to be a slightly better like 1v1 like late game thing, but that's not how you generally pick Ragdoll. So I'm pretty happy. Also that they didn't nerf him like completely to the floor. So
I still feel like he's pretty like he's like it's the same unit basically. It's still gonna have the same impact, but it's not gonna have that same rotation.
I'm not really sure about that, honestly. I think while this is a nerf, clearly, it also limits the amount of counters you can actually play against it. I mean, 15% reflect is not that much. I mean, Lydia has, what, 30% or something? So attacking Lydia was always kind of an issue, you know, even with Molong, you would basically harm yourself in a big way. But in the end, with 10% attack bar, he is nerfed enough that this 50% of reflected damage can actually impact a different style of play. For example, the way I play against Ragdoll is kind of either nuking him really fast down or leaving him as last. If you leave him as last and the enemy has sustain, you could actually run into trouble if you don't have enough sustain yourself. So you're forced to pick sustain. You can't just one-shot, one-bot combo him. So it opens up a little bit different approach that you have to think around these 15% because they can actually bite you in the ass in the end.
Like, how do actually people counter Ragdoll? Like, Vert is number one, basically, right? Outside of, like, one-shotting.
I wouldn't say that there's like Tian Lang is like a counter to Ragdoll
Yeah.
and Oblivion. There's not like any other counters. It's just like remedies pretty much
Yeah,
to make
you
it
just
less.
have to deal with it basically, almost, unless you ban it. So
I see.
So, for example, you see a lot of G3 players that play Arta Ragdoll and then pick Amelia. We'll talk about Amelia later as well. But with the Amelia death buff, this will become a really annoying thing to deal with the 15% reflect, because you will have to keep up sustain on your side. I mean, I see most of the players that basically play in high tier, they usually have at least Fran or Triana or both, countering it and kind of out-sustaining it. But the 15% can actually do, the little bit of difference.
Just so everybody knows what this 15% means. It's basically if you've ever faced a Lydia. So it's basically a reduction, 30% damage reduction, but also reflects that damage by 30%. Damage taken by 30%. So in this means that Ragdoll per se has been 15% tankier. What if everyone echo? That is insert the raptor meme. Okay, but no.
Dude, you're such a boomer for mentioning these.
Shut the
things.
fuck
Like,
up, man. That's the only memes I know. Okay, I don't know what a zoomer, what a bloomer, what a coomer, what the fuck that is. Okay.
Well, I can show you later on what a Coomer is, but
Okay,
that's
man.
a different story.
Alright, okay.
My God, YouTube, huh?
And then we have Ethna. I really don't know why they buffed Ethna. I really don't know. Do we
I
have...
mean, that doesn't mean you don't even need a despair set at all anymore to stun.
Yeah. I mean, I would still build Ethna on despair.
Sure.
Despair on Ethna is more for like shatter than third.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty nice buff. Honestly, it's a pretty nice buff. It's like it's a more solid stun now, and like you can get away with less damage, but like overall, I don't see Ethna being changed. It's just a very nice buff. I have no opinion. Do you guys have any opinion of Ethna?
You have her. I don't. I really want her.
I mean, she's really nice. She's really nice.
She's like a scuffed Savannah.
Okay, shut the fuck up, man. Yeah, okay. I mean, if I had a Savannah, I would take Savannah any day. But
Pulling out the dung beetle already.
Okay, alright. Alright, and now we can go to Tayor. I don't think this makes him relevant at all, still.
Not as long Lagmaron is.
But I can't wait to see you actually give it a try, like in your Guild Siege videos. You should really start...
Oh, shut the fuck up. I don't have a Tayor, man. Fucking cuck. Okay. Alright.
I just had to do it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, but do you actually think, like, I think it's, like, definitely not bad, and I'm, like, really curious what they would have to do to actually make Tayor viable, honestly.
My issue is that I'm always thinking around... RTA. So the viability in RTA, I don't really see it. It's because the base speed
is it
really...
just his base speed, or why is Lagmaron so much more used than Tayor? That's the thing.
It's hard.
When it comes to Tayor, I honestly don't see... I mean, it's the same reason... No, I really don't see him being used unless he gets that base speed that he deserves.
Yeah. But, like, once that base speed is changed, like, imagine the whole Gemini thing, like, imagine fighting, like, instead of running Lagmaron Gemini, just running Tayor Gemini. It would work against Valhalla pretty well, kind of ish.
I mean, looking at the text, basically, I cannot stop thinking about, using him with cheap. like the AoE strip and then into Taor, basically messing up the entire attack order of the enemies. Not because of much, not only because of the reduction of attack bar, you know, more like messing it up. I mean, Chiwu is also a little bit RNG-ish, right? On the attack bar decrease. If he strips, he reduces, right?
It has much to do with accuracy. It has a accuracy check, so it's not RNG per se. I mean, it's RNG. Anything that has to do with resistance and accuracy is RNG.
And that's the thing. I mean, does that look to you like an ability that is dependent on resistance? And because to me, it doesn't.
I mean, any.
Yeah, it's gonna be able to.
I think the accuracy. Yeah, exactly. That's,
You'll have to.
I think...
No, like you have to like land it.
Check. Oh, okay.
Dude,
Because I know
to.
he has the freeze on the AoE, right? And if he freezes and reduces, he's like a mini Verad, basically.
Yeah.
I'm
definitely going to give him a try. Like, he's going to be one of those units that I'm going to give a try. But I think, like, units like the Water Taoist, for instance, definitely, like, they just buffed him, like, slightly, and it's just already way better than Taor now. Like, as, like, a single target thingamajig.
Which unit did he say?
The Taoist. The Water
Taoist. Yeah.
But compared to Verad, for example, I mean, Verad is double AoE. Auto attack. And this guy has a really hard-hitting second skill, you know, as much as Lagmaron. But on top, he has this complete CC
also
on the...
at the same time, Taor, he only reduces everyone but the targeted.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is exactly what you say. It disturbs the turn order. But I think the prime issue with Taor right now is that his base speed is so slow that... Like, it's going to... I mean, Verad also has a low base speed, doesn't he?
A really low,
like below 190,
94, 96?
Yeah, so, like, that's also the reason you don't see that many Verads. Like, his kit is very nice. It's, like, a lot of control. Not many water unit that have control, do they?
Well, Tyron, Verad, Poseidon.
Oh, yeah.
There's, like, plenty.
Wow,
I don't really see that many water CCs like in RTA at least.
Yeah.
Taor's third skill is basically like Verad's third skill, and Poseidon's third skill had a baby. Yeah, I would probably say that.
That's a pretty accurate one. Yeah.
And I agree with DJ's comment.
But the thing is, it's like if you have a baby and then it's like the shittiest parts of both.
Yes. It's not even 100%, so it's just to ruin the turn order. But I mean, it's a good addition for the state that he is in right now, which is not really RTA ready in my perspective. But it could be. I mean, I don't really see him being used in like dungeons either. Like Twins outshine this.
That's like one of the things that always like annoy me when it comes to balance patches. Like, you should just also look at what sort of content you like actually want to run a unit with, and with Taor, it's like definitely one of those issues. They might like include some additional dimensions in the near future or whatever, where he might be good, but so far I can definitely not see him like actually be used from PvE as well. Maybe Lunia, I don't know.
It could possibly be used in Siege and Guild Wars. I mean, maybe someone in chat have an idea, but I honestly don't have any. I don't see.
There's this typical cleave, you know, Galleon, Tiana.
Yeah. So Taor, I would say he's still shit. Then we have Rakan with buff strip.
That's actually interesting. I mean, you would say he's totally useless, right? But you played him as well. You had some fun with him. And now he has something that you basically always need.
Yeah.
And now the question is, I mean, everyone that basically enjoyed playing with him a little bit, but doesn't see him fit any meta or anything, will try him out, you know, just for the loot.
It's just... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Do you actually think that like that's gonna make an impact in like RTA?
No.
People usually just like counterpick it. Like when I go like Ciara, Verdaha, ish teams like Sierra Vertical Fran, I see some people pick Rakan against that. So it might be useful against that, but like it's mostly just like a siege
I mean,
thing, right?
it could be a niche counter pick, you know. But I personally feel like there's still. I mean, it's a good addition to have this beneficial effect removed. In terms of RTA, it's hard to say because if you go second, third turn or like a prolonged fight, it could have an impact. And it's probably the only time you would pick him in a elongated fight.
I mean, even against cleaves, I played him a lot. Last season, yes, against cleaves, I was using him as counter cleave. I mean, I have Nigon, so that's like a big bonus there. But I also play Diana and Triana, so with Rakan on top, and he actually soloed a lot of games.
So you're running like Vamp Nemesis? Where are you?
I actually ran Vamp on him, but I tried Bio as well. And on Bio, I mean, like just how Bio works, you know. I mean, with this ability and the question raised by Say, if he can strip and then provoke, could actually make him even viable in Bio.
That's a pretty good point. The strip plus provoke, yeah, actually.
I mean, if anything goes before Lucian, and you basically get a turn, yeah.
Dude, I can't wait to test it out.
Yeah, so it's like Josephine's second skill, just that it's a 30% chance to counterattack once they actually hit you again.
It's actually pretty good.
But it also when it comes he also has low base speed, isn't it? He shares the same base speed with Teo, right?
Rakan? Wait.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's.
Yeah, he's pretty slow. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So, it would be more of an elongated fight. I would see him like you can't. I mean, unless you have like insane freaking runes, you can't really go first turn like just do the second skill and then third skill. I mean, it could strip immunity, but as I said, it's you would need insane rune quality to be able to play him first turn. You can't really use him as a. So
you mean like Judas style second turn base player?
Is that how Judas plays?
I mean, he defines himself like that, so I'll just.
I actually watch his like Facebook live streams every once in a while.
I mean, he says he's too slow, you know, to be like going first against the best. I mean, he says that about himself. That's why I always kind of take him as the example, because he said for himself at least. I mean, yeah. What do you mean? What you said? Like elongated
Plaza
fight,
Taki
longer
Stash.
fight. You don't have to go. You can kind of turn around, control-ish game. You know, with.
Do you actually like anyone else actually play with Rakan? I've been trying him out. Like the best part about Rakan is I think he got like viable like out of the meta about like 3 times at this point, which is fun.
I mean, I only used him because I lacked fire units, and it was never a good ending with that. So, but I could see him totally be more like impactful in RTA from the current impactness. It's not even a word, but so it's a good buff. I would like to see how it's going to look in the future.
I think he's actually going to be a situational pick, you know, actually a viable one.
Yeah. All right, Rakan buff, pretty nice buff. Probably gonna see some niche picks, situational picks in the future, and we'll have to see if people are going to continue using it. Lima grants immunity on all allies for 1 turn. I don't really have Lima. I've never used. I mean, I faced the Lima today, but like I don't see.
Can you scroll up a bit on the stream?
Oh, you guys can see it. Shit.
That's a little bit too long. I have the German notes, but I kind of want to read it in English.
What do you mean that's Louise? This is Lima. What do you mean this is Louise?
Well, let him just talk. Whatever.
Yeah.
But like, do you
Wait,
actually
so-
think
so
that that's
her-
gonna change? Yeah.
So her third was only giving invincibility and regen, right, for 3
Yeah.
turns.
Yeah.
Invincibility 1 turn and 3 turns regen. So
I think it
now
was
addition,
each-
but it doesn't cleanse. So this is kind of the issue, you know. I've played on an account with a Lima. I really liked it, and I really like it. She would be one of the units that I really
Wait,
want.
what do you
to
mean? It does
have.
cleanse.
Wait, I think it does cleanse. Let me read that up. I think it does cleanse.
I mean,
If
it
it's
says
so.
grant immunity. Oh yeah, it actually cleanses, right?
Yeah, it
It,
cleanses.
it was already in the game. Like they
Yeah,
didn't have to add the cleanse.
Oh, true. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I really enjoyed playing with her, and for myself, I always wanted her because of Bulwark. You know, you could actually just stack up so fast with him or with her.
It's a nice addition. I mean, I don't think there's much to say about it. It's a nice it's a nice buff.
Well, I think the question is like, does it change the room build? Like people either run Despair, Swift, or Violent. So like mostly you see Despair with Lima, right?
Yeah, I don't think this will affect the rune build at all.
What do you guys say?
I don't think we will see much of her anyway,
Yeah, like in RTA at least.
especially with the
I mean-
Dragon Knight being, you know, going through invincibility.
Thing is, they're changing her second skill as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
she
yeah.
gets
We can,
slow.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Slow
It's
instead of
like-
dots.
Farther down, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we can go to this one. Increases. Okay, so they changed the accuracy awakening to buffing the second skill, so it removes by 90%. And
I'm pretty sure it's 100% because
it's
like
100.
it's usually scaled with 10. So,
oh, so it's a
so it's
100%.
like 100%
Yeah, it
now.
is.
Oh, okay. Inflicts continuous damage equal to the number of removed beneficial effects for 2 turns. Decreases attack speed. So it no longer inflicts continuous damage. It's only attack speed.
No, it does both, right?
It doesn't say if it does both.
No, you
Oh,
get
yeah,
slows, but you
right.
don't get dots.
You're actually right. Yeah. Huh.
That's actually not a bad, because you could actually use her as a first turn stripper now. And
Yeah.
pair
So
it
that's
with
what I was
Hathor.
asking with like the room builds and stuff.
I mean, with Hathor, because like the issues with like with Juno basically is when you strip immunity and you leave the dots on, they awake next turn.
Yeah.
So this is actually not a. That's a pretty fucking.
Thing is, I think you can do like Swift Will on her now, instead of Despair or Violent.
Yeah, because
Because
basically
now
it's
she
real-
does everything. Because she cleanses, gives immunity, and she strips. So it's just like Miyang or Lisa, but she gives immunity as well. So I think that's
There's
actually the
actually-
best build.
There's a lot of like units that scale with attack speed slow now. Like they keep adding more and more. Like Water Terrorist is gonna be somewhat useful now. You see Tyron and stuff. So that also kind of like a pro. Doesn't really fit into the Lima playstyle, but still.
She's gonna. I think we're gonna see more and more of her.
Yeah.
So yeah, I forgot
It's
about
actually
this
really good.
awakening. Yeah,
I wonder how many people actually have her and never use her. Because
probably everybody,
you mean like in Asia, yeah.
everyone. Like I'm pretty sure we're gonna see plenty of them. Like we've seen a lot of Ragdoll Arta. Like it doesn't surprise me if we're gonna see a lot more other LD units, and for sure we're gonna see this unit. DGP uses her. Okay, nice. Another toxic SWC player. Okay. Yeah. So that's a pretty insane buff to the Lima. We're gonna see more of her. Then we have Tishar.
Do we even want to talk about him?
No.
Like people just not.
No, I
gonna
just just jumped over it.
Yeah. Fuck that.
So, in my opinion, when it comes to the Fire Panda, and I also read DJ's opinion, it's probably just to have more space, more text to read in the balance patch. It's just clutter, to be honest.
Yeah.
The
So they basically just like they added one debuff, right? That's
no.
Heal Disturb.
He'll disturb. Yeah, probably. But it's also it's in a designated turn order. So first is first attack is HP disturb, second glancing, third is attack power decrease, and then speed decrease on fourth. It's just I don't see any big change.
I mean, there's no damage increases or scaling increases, just debuff.
Dude, it's
Yeah, but the thing
it's
is,
pure trash.
his third skill counters Gelner now, since he HP disturbs first. So Gelner can't really heal the unit that he's mutating.
Oh my god, 6 head.
Oh, nice.
69 head, actually.
Yeah. Oh, feels bad. Gilnir was such a toxic unit to fight. Now it's going to be so easy. It's going to be so easy. I have mine fully skilled up. My Fire Panda. So that's going to be nice to fight the Gilnir.
I mean, he's a siege unit. I mean, I've watched some squids do siege, and they use him a lot. You know, it's pretty stable. But besides that, meh.
I think
Shit unit.
I think YDCB might be happy about this buff. I mean, I use them as well.
It's funny how like your Fang Yan isn't fully skilled, but your
I mean,
Xiao Fei, right?
Listen, Fire Panda when it came out, the Fire Panda when it came out, it was a big thing. So and it was the first, very like oriental, not oriental, but very like a panda. I love pandas, you know. So the first thing I did was fucking get it, you know. And I put all my Devimons.
I've been meaning to ask you that for a very long time, but why are you such a weeb? It's crazy, dude.
Everyone who is in chat right now, my friends, how many weebs do we have? We have many weebs. I'm a weeb. I'm a proud weeb. Yes. Okay, and then we have Louise. That's her name, right? Louise. The win.
I'm actually the most excited about that one. I like personally, honestly.
All right, give us your take then.
No, I've been actually seeing some guilds use her. I think she's gonna be like a pretty insane like Guild War offense, siege offense unit. I've seen some defensive with it, but I'm gonna definitely like bring out my Theomars again now with that buff, because kind of fell out for me personally. So I'm like really excited about that. Like she's gonna be insane with bruisers. That's my take on it. Yeah.
Wanna know something? I just fed my non-dupe Louise.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
For
Why
300 crystals.
was it at least worth it? What did you buy? Like just another blessing, or what did you get?
HP gems.
Wow.
Progress.
Is it like
Progress.
Am I like the only one, or like do you guys
no.
okay?
He's actually legit in siege, but I wouldn't have any runes left for her to be decent, you know.
Yeah.
She's really good in offense. I wouldn't say she's good in defense, but for offense you could always use her. I mean, immunity, shield, you know, it's all good. But yeah, she would actually require some runes, you know, that I don't have anymore.
Yeah, I see.
Louise was. Oh, we have Rozith here, SWC champion, not champion, but a contestant, a very good contestant.
Wait, is he in the chat right now?
Yeah, perfect chow.
Fuck yeah.
Louise was already good before this buff. She was.
Second.
I mean, if you're Aftermath with that insane rune quality, he's Europe champion. Yes, Rozith is Europe champion together with Boss David.
No, he's solo.
Okay,
he won.
He won. Okay. I honestly, it's a good buff, but I don't see much to talk about. Like it's the difference is that she now grants immunity to everyone who has more than half. Grants immunity on the allies with half or more HP for 2 turns. So at first turn, she's always going to there's always going to be immunity to put.
I mean, I would have regretted feeding her if that current buff was somehow relatable or making her into a really good RTA unit. You know,
Yeah.
but this is still not RTA viable at all. It's just siege content, Guild War, etc.
it's kind of annoying as like a content creator like me, and especially Taki.
Shut the fuck up, man.
But, like, it's like just not flashy, like making videos about units like her. But I think she's like extremely solid now. But yeah.
All right, that's enough about that one. We have the Water Demon. When reviving, creates a shield that's proportionate to your level for 1 turn. Like this proportionate to your level, it's still confusing to me.
It's basically what Comtours does whenever they don't want to like make you build it on HP. Like it's a good way to like make a unit useful in like late
How
game.
much shield is that?
It's like a Bastet shield, you know, like the multiplayers are probably slightly different, but it's the same mechanic where like a Bastet gets like way better once you reach like end game. So it kind of fits his playstyle where you pick it and he's kind of there to just fuck with you in end game. So that's kind of, I think personally, that's my take
So
on it.
DJ says 4,800. Okay, I mean,
Is it actually the math?
I really don't know. I mean, it's I don't know. You had a good point right before before I started the stream. You said something about that you really like this unit never gets the turn or something.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I think personally, they like everyone wanted them to just give him like a turn when he revives. So that's kind of just like a pussy way of giving him a turn, or at least like making him survive till he gets there. Like you just basically you don't want to pick it against like Verd and it comes like these, but it's pretty good against bruisers. And with that shield, it's gonna be like you're gonna get it off. But what this buff means is they just like want him to be extremely situational, in my opinion. And it's a decent buff, and I think he's kind of overlooked. And he's going to be really good depending on like the meta in general, which is a very normal thing to say, obviously, but he's not as useful right now. But I think that it has to be like, I think like depending on the playstyle of players, he's going to be pretty insane, like just on average. People overlook him. That's the bottom line. Ugh.
I mean, if I had Devilmons, I would rather Devilmon this than my Brandia. So.
Then you're what?
Then my Brandia, I wish.
Oh yeah, probably.
So
I mean, I've seen you use him in Siege, but you mostly use him just like as a damage dealer, kind of.
If I use Brandia, yeah.
No, I mean the water one. You use
water.
it to tank like Odins and stuff, but outside of that.
No, I don't know. Wait, what? No, I don't know what.
It doesn't work against Odins. No, what the fuck did I say?
No. No, I just don't. I've only used him twice. 3 times, and that's always been gimmicky. I mean, it's just a troll pick for me because it's it's not Devilmon. It's just for fun. I like to see diversity, basically.
I mean, I remember Shanks trying to make him work in a, and his was hitting really, really hard, and still he didn't go with it at the end.
So, which sort of changes would you guys actually like to see instead of that shield then?
It's really hard because they kind of feel really squishy against units like Ciara, Diana. Yeah. They cannot keep up, you know. The wind one is pretty cool, you know, because you can actually block those reviving effects and stuff. That's about it. I mean, Beelzebub is of course like no reason to talk about it, but people kind of figured out how to play against it as well. The light one, we haven't seen so much of him. Dave actually pulled him, so he was trying to work it out. I don't know if he made it yet or if he keeps it secret. I mean, Dave is boss, by the way.
I mean, just give him insta turn.
Yeah,
that's
I think that's how
it. Yeah. I wouldn't say more than that. Like, it's just give him insta hit. Like, if someone can cut in between before he gets the turn when he revives, it's like like that's probably the reason they gave him the shield. But I would see because the way I like counter Beelzebub today is like most Beelzebub I've fought, for some reason they use their second skill instantly. So that means I can kill the Beelzebub, and when he revives next turn, he doesn't have the second skill to nuke something. So that's how I deal with it. So and you can basically deal with Belial the same way.
Pretty good points. Yeah.
So I would say first turn. I mean, insta turn. I don't see why that wouldn't be. Why that wouldn't be implemented. All right.
Well, maybe they're gonna give it to him, but then probably they're gonna take away the shield or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Like the shield kind of tells me that they're not gonna change it for a while, at least in that way. But we'll see.
Now we have the Fire Demon. Eased the condition of granting continuous damage that's proportionate to damage dealt. I really don't know. I've never.
Yeah,
used...
just skip.
Yeah.
I think we can skip
I mean, about the demons in general, I kind of feel like Come To Us missed an opportunity to add one of them as a fusion monster. Because they're not so OP, you know, but they're actually fun to play around with. And they could be good farmers and stuff, so it would actually be something, you know, especially for beginners.
That is a really good point, dude. Yeah, I think, yeah.
All right. I like to hear the opinion of everyone when it comes to the Dark Emperor. Isn't it like Pungback? Basically, it has a fixed damage.
So when it says decrease the HP, it's not a destroy, it's just the AoE, right?
Yeah. And I don't think...
Yeah, I think it's going to be like Pungback.
Yeah, it's like Pungback. Because Pungback doesn't... it doesn't trigger like Ragdoll, right? Passive. And I think basically it could also one-shot Mihus, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Obabo?
I mean, this was like the exact buff frame that I said on podcast once, where he would like cleave when he attacks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's a cool buff, and it fits, but I'm not sure how good it's gonna be.
I mean, it could be as a finisher, you know.
Thing is, since like Lauren is so good, and that's the single target defense break, it's pretty. It could be nice because he still hits for like. If you have Fran buff and Lauren going, then he can hit for like 70k, I think, with his second skill.
Yeah, that's
then you get like 30% ignore defense on everyone else without critting.
You don't even have to commit to go and draft a full cleave, which is really nice.
Oh,
Pretty
well,
good points.
You can.
Yeah, I think like Mananan.
Yeah,
you can run it in the cleave. I think like Mananan was just one of those units that kind of got slightly outdated throughout the course of like just him being out, and it's a really good buff actually. Yeah, Babo had really good points.
All right, now we have the unicorns. Obabo was very confused by the Amelia because you thought it was in human form and that it would heal everyone, right?
I thought so as well.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. So personally, my opinion about the Amelia is that it's a nice touch, and it will probably be useful for her when it's in a clutch moment. If it's Amelia versus versus another unit, then it's gonna be useful. Or maybe even sometimes people not turn cycle, like they try to reduce the cooldown of the cleanse. So when they go back to human form, they can heal and then turn back in. I mean, when they go back to pony form, they can heal and then go back to when they violin proc back to human form. It's a pretty nice touch, but it's very
would you actually still play her on bio though? I mean, isn't that like a waste?
It's a very good point. I don't think so either, but
I mean,
because on bio you could do that. Like you go into human form, you cleanse, and then you go back into pony form, or not in cleanse. Yeah, you can actually cleanse and go back into pony form, right? That's what bio would do, you know. And then you would stay in pony form and have the death buff for yourself and heal on the next turn, basically. I mean, is it a heal when you have the turn, or is it just the heal, you know, at the start of the turn or at the end of the turn? That's a important thing.
Probably at each turn, meaning that when she changes form, that's counted as a turn, isn't it? So I mean, I don't think it's going to change the way that people play Amelia. It's like some people play Amelia Swift, some people play Amelia Violent. So it's the same. It's just a nice touch. All right, and then we have Helena. Recovers HP by 10% when you attack on your turn. Which could be... I mean, to be honest, I don't see... It's probably gonna...
bad, isn't it?
No, I mean, it doesn't change the fact that she has the same gimmick. She's still used for, like... if you
No, but it's kind of weird because they give Amelia a like better buff than to Helena for some reason.
It's
That's a good point, yeah.
Because like Helena won't heal when you shield. This is when you attack.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Unless shielding counts as an attack, I'm not sure. But the wording makes it seem so it's just when you first kill. And that's
actually
really weird.
dumb, yeah. Like Amelia is kind of like probably the most versatile and like the most useful for like G3. And giving her that buff is really odd to me, honestly. I think they kind of just added it because they gave like every other unicorn a buff, kind of. Except Diana.
I mean, have you met any slow cleavers lately? Especially the one with Zeratu, Helena, and stuff like that. I mean, Sephiroth plays it, Kami plays. Have you met any of those?
Dude, I'm currently like fucking stuck in Fighter 3 again. After like doing some drunk RTAs. There's
I haven't.
No,
I
but
haven't
I know what
faced,
you're talking about.
I haven't faced that many Helenas. I mean, I don't think I've faced.
I mean, you remember those meme videos on Reddit or wherever they were posted, you know, when Helena went like 70 times and cycled through and killed an entire team. But I mean, isn't that where... Oh, I don't know. I mean,
I guess...
that's where it could come in handy, you know? I mean, you just get like 2 procs in a row or something and your Helena turns from 1 HP to full.
But she only heals like 10%, not for every attack or whatever.
10%, okay, it's not a vamp effect, okay.
All I'm like really saying is like, I'm just kind of... I know how good Helena can be. All I'm saying is I'm just very surprised by the way they buffed her because it's just really not impact. Like, it doesn't impact the playstyle you normally go for with it. It's just...
It's too weak of a buff, to be honest.
Yeah.
Alright, and then we have... Eleanor? No, what's her name?
Eleanor.
Eleanor. Eleanor? Wait, what is her name? Eleanor? Chat.
You just call her the light pony.
Eleanor. Yes, it's Eleanor. Alright. She got the creme de la creme. Recovers HP of all allies by 10%. So every time she uses a cleanse, it's going to recover the HP of all allies. So that's a good touch. So basically, she is at least now also considered as a very weak sustain, I would say. And I would see the build on her would be violent. If you
like, what's the point of running her over a wall? It's like anti-vertical, right? Kind of.
Yeah, any crit rate unit, which is Diana, Verd, like it's a pretty I would say it's pretty underused in RTA. I would like to see it more.
Do you think this is gonna change like how people use her, or like in general the pick rate?
It makes her more viable.
It gives her sustain now. Like she's
yeah,
like,
I get it. Yeah. I'm just like I'm trying to be a content creator right now and just yeah. Like are these changes like actually impactful for the unicorns? I would have just like mentioned them all together except the dark one kind of, right?
I mean, I think it's not as impactful like that it would be, oh shit, now we're gonna fucking play with these units and we're gonna fucking win RTA. No, it's not gonna be that. But we might see more use of them. I'll probably, if there's some Eleanor players out there, they're probably gonna use her more. But it's not gonna change the way they play with it. anti-crit buff is not really that amazing. Yes, it's yeah, it's situational as well. So
It's a bit funny, you know, like they didn't touch Diana and they buffed the other one.
I mean, they know that
Just
Diana
slightly.
is OP as fuck. So
Let's just hope that they've learned from the way they like built Diana. You know, they designed her. It's just
nice one, Lala. Sample use content creator. Taki got confused. It was super effective. Such a. Don't ever say.
I'm sorry.
Don't ever say content creator here.
And don't call yourself a content creator unless you grow a beard. Like,
shut the fuck up. Okay. All right, and now we have Alexandra, the one, the only, the anything that everyone has been waiting for. It's nice. It's okay. You can have different, like she's more viable. Nah, I can't really fucking hide it. I don't think she's going to change that much. You can build her on no crit rate, high crit damage, much HP, a lot of HP. I will try her out this if the balance patch hits this Saturday. I will try her out in a cleave, but the issue is that she needs a lot of setup. She needs a lot of setup. It can be decent damage, but I don't see her versatility is getting changed in terms of the fighting style. Like right now, she's AoE. She's not gonna one-shot a unit if there's a Trion in the team. She's countered by immunity, so you're almost forced to go as a strip cleave basically. So you can set her up.
Taki,
Yes.
ever since I read these patch notes,
Yeah, I know. I read what you wrote on this line chat. Taki's gonna say she's shit. But it's true. I mean, she it's not true in like it's a good buff. It's good buff, but it doesn't change the way you use her in RTA. The Rune build is gonna be different. You can build her crit damage, HP crit damage, HP, and have no crit rate at all. But the overall function of her is still gonna remain the same. This is me 5-head. This is as much she can get of me. Yeah. The rest of the balance patch, I'm not gonna have any brain cells.
But like, I think you're trying to like use like I think that change makes her like slightly more consistent. Like people are trying to set up the unicorn, but people nowadays not. I think if you last pick it against a team that's like where she is like average, you can like luck suck the fuck out of them at least. So I think like you're gonna have a very good time when you not force it. Like when you pick it like once every 10 fights ish, you're gonna have a way better time than like actually forcing it actively in like every single fight. For you personally, she's one of those like niche picks. But
yes, it's like once in a blue moon.
I'm gonna have a lot of fun like editing like 15 fights out of every single WOD just to make her look good.
Right. Like on Saturday, if the patch release, I'll try her. I've already built her. Let's see how she's built. Give me a second.
Yeah, let's see. I'm actually really excited about the Succubus though. Let's talk about them.
So, we have Alexandra built like this. We'll see how she's gonna pan out. And I'm probably like I've built her specifically for a shield wheel, not a shield wheel cleave, first turn cleave with Chiwu and Gemini. She's not fast enough. She's not fast enough.
Weird flex, but okay.
No, it's not a weird. Like that's the point, that she's not fast enough to be in that cleave. So it's that I'm forced to use a Poseidon to push back or a Gani to push back, so she can at least take a turn. And it will be fucked by non-will, exactly Station 2. But we'll have to see. I'll see what I can do with her on Saturday if the patch releases then, and hopefully it's good news, you know. But that's the thing. I don't see much change.
Her and Helena would actually sync not too badly, to be.
Her and Helena would have always been like they've always had the same function together, so it's still like set up. Helena at least has defense break. You could possibly build Alexandra as in a shield cleave. Shield will cleave. I'd like to see that, but I don't really play that style. So
Pretty much the only time I fought her, I was in like shield will cleaves with Alex, like with both the fire and dark one.
Yeah.
Honestly.
All right.
But, yeah.
The water succubus. More drain. It's fast. More drain. So it's pretty nice. It's a buff. It's just a buff. We don't really need to talk about it.
I mean, she was already annoying, you know, and now she's gonna be even more annoying.
Yeah, it's same thing as before.
Yeah, same thing. Now we have the fire succubus that can also.
It's gonna be really good.
That can increase the cooldown by 2 turns. This is an AoE attack, so it's basically baby Zeros. She also has strip on second skill, right?
Yeah, it's the strip is like on 3 buffs, and if you have 3 buffs on your opponent, it strips and puts sleep, armor break, and glance on. If you only have 1 buff, it strips and puts 1 out of those 3. If you have 2, it strips and puts 2 out of those 3, and goes like that. I use the dark one like pretty much 80% of my RTA fights, so yeah, pretty fucking crazy. I think she's gonna be insane, honestly.
Yeah, fire and light succubus are probably the ones that actually got a buff. The rest are just they're just like giving them changes just to change them.
To have a bigger list. Clutter, basically. Clutter.
I mean, I can tell you that the dark succubus, it already hit somewhat hard before the change, the max HP, but it's like the attack speed change. She's actually gonna hit pretty hard. Like mine isn't on like insanely damage heavy runes. She's actually like built like a tank. She still hits for like 20k ish on armor break. So
I mean, I saw Obabo when she was a thing and not everyone had her. Like basically he only used her for the second skill before they
first skill. You don't use the third skill that much at all.
So
second skill was a strip back then as well, right?
Yeah, it was stun instead of sleep.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and that's the way I remember Obabo playing it, and I don't see that it's going to change, unless maybe it depends on how much it's going to hit. Maybe you can see it in a cleave just for fun, but it's
like honestly the fire and dark ones are like pretty insane because like immunity always countered the succubus, and those two like just shit on that so hard. I really like it. It's like really
fire
inconsistent.
One,
but... Go ahead.
Fire one is a lot better than dark one now.
Yeah, I would have to.
The only thing that dark one has is dark one works against Amelia Wusa. Meanwhile, Ake kind of sucks against them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I picked mine specifically to deal with Stat and Water Monkey King, and it's basically the same shit.
So, light succubus is going to be probably gonna see.
I gotta pick the fire one.
We're gonna probably see.
And doesn't actually have bad base speed. All of them have the same 106.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, slightly above 100.
So not so bad.
It's going to put a more. What I hate about RTA right now is this resident sleeper meta, like the CC. So this is just gonna add into it. But people are gonna use her. She's gonna come out of storage if she's not already out of storage. Read the water passive fast. Water Jackal Lantern. What is it? Water Jackal Lantern. Increase the value. Increase the value of attack speed that increases according to the number of beneficial effects. Is that not what he already does? Oh,
yeah, that's what they're like increasing it.
They're increasing it. Yo.
Oh yeah, it's just straight up increased. Huh.
The name, the cunning. Okay. I don't get it.
Kurushi, where are you? Because you love to use that one.
I don't get it.
What?
I don't get Seishizu's joke.
Ignore it. It's probably Monka TOS.
Okay. Yeah. So they increased the chilling.
I mean, he was already pretty good, but the other ones seem really interesting.
Which one? The fire?
I mean, I've been trying to make the fire one useful at least a little, and I do think that now he's actually going to be somewhat decent for Kazan before. Like you need like basically as a substitute for Kaimon. But it's like not really like an insane unit or whatever. Like for you endgame players, it's not going to be a huge change, but he is going to be somewhat useful at least. Yeah, so that's that.
Okay.
Like his kit is basically like people are trying to build like Raok and Crow for it, but they end up not being tanky enough. And you can run him like somewhat tanky and like a hybrid-ish damage build. He has some interesting scalings and a lot of debuffs. So that's kind of how you run it. And they even made him better by adding defense break. So that's the bottom line.
With even light one. Oh, even light one has defense break now. Ooh. So this is so the light Jack-o'-lantern now has, it basically is a Jaeger, but also has like a scuffed Jaeger, but also is has defense break.
That's pretty good. Like I actually really like what they did with them. I mean, it was very simple, and it only took them like a year ever since they did like the Hall of Heroes and whatever. I remember like posting a video back in the day and like exactly mentioning that. So I'm like, it took them pretty long, but finally they changed them. The damage multipliers are still really bad. I've been like testing literally all of them. They don't hit very hard, so you gotta like build them as hybrids. But
does it scale with speed? The first skill does, right?
I actually like right off the bat, I actually can't remember, but they don't hit very hard. I've been testing them on like crit damage builds. Like they just don't have high multipliers.
I saw those videos. He was literally crying in the video.
Yeah.
Obabo,
it's really
would
bad.
you actually use any Jack-o'-lanterns ever? Any idea?
You can use chilling in this meta with all the like Tyrannus, Bellagial stuff. That's about it.
Yeah,
maybe light one can be used now.
Scuff. Yeah.
Wait, the light one has sustain, right? No, what was it? Shield sustain?
No, the light one is
that's the dark
Jaeger.
one.
Yeah, the dark one has shield. Okay, so they changed the dark Jack-o'-lantern to, instead of just shielding himself, it shields everybody. I don't know how much that shield is though.
I think, is it level based, isn't it?
Maybe. And then we have the wind Jack-o'-lantern that gains a shield that is equivalent to 20% of your max HP for one turn, but now instead it's 10% of your max HP for one turn on all allies. It's like Rina on everyone or something.
Yeah, that's gonna be annoying in Labyrinth and shit like.
Yeah.
And TOA and TOA hard. It's gonna be really annoying. But besides that, I don't think like. Besides the light and chilling, I don't think anyone will get used.
Yeah. So. All in all, for RTA, I would probably say the most eligible is still chilling, and even with this, without this update, without this buff, it would still be used the same way.
I haven't seen one in, I don't know, like half a year or something.
Now we have the water sylph. What is it?
I don't get Tyron. I don't get why they buffed him, honestly.
I mean, I don't know. They probably look into like, I don't know what the Compters really checks. If they check community, like community surveys or like opinions from the community, or if they just check like RTA plays, win rate and play rate, like how often a unit is used in RTA. I don't know what they really look into. Might be both.
I mean, it's not an entire RTA patch, you know. There's nothing like entire RTA patches. I guess they're kind of looking into, okay, which one of the units that we threw out 5 years ago could actually be reworked a little bit.
Yeah, but on that note, it's like the water sylphid hits twice with that skill, and it basically technically already reduces the attack bar by 100%. I mean, I get it; it's like slightly more consistent, but how many times do they need to buff the water sylph? And they constantly overlook Beretta, and it was like by far already like the worst out of the three. I don't get it. Like, I'm happy that they buffed him, but like I don't get why they didn't look at Beretta whatsoever. It's really weird to me.
Oh wait, did they change?
They changed Tyron like for the third time now.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, did they change that because the second skill hits twice? Did they change it to
does.
once?
Probably not.
No, it's still 2 hits. So it's just better against like resist.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you resist one of them, you still get 75.
Okay. All right.
Wait, they do? DJ?
They say in
Is
the
it
notes...
lower then? Like lower down in the patch? That they're
Oh,
changing
they
it?
do? Okay, I'm sorry. Let me see.
Wait.
Go down all the way down.
There is no all the way down. Fix an
issue.
issue.
Attack
No, okay, it's still 2 times.
Yeah.
What does
yeah,
that
it's
normally mean? What does that mean? Does it mean you can get negative attack bar or what?
I have no clue.
Or just not, being resistant?
Because it's meant to be 2 hits.
Yeah, it might be like not hitting in. I don't know.
Mm.
I normally don't really read through those bug fixes normally.
All right. So, and the one that I am hyped up for is the Water Taoist. And this is something that Seishizu should also be very tempted of building, since he has 10 of them. This is going to be like a water monkey, basically, but a 4-star water monkey, a Shihu. It's a scuffed Shihu, and it's still meh. Okay, I don't see it as a meh. Obabo, what do you think of the viability of the Water Taoist in RTA?
Yeah, it's a little bit. You pick it in the same situation as Water Monk, pretty much, but it's more like a scuffed Daphnis that is water. But I think it's still gonna be really good because it's way better than Aegir for this meta.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone has all the like water boosters,
Yeah.
and it can be more useful than Shio sometimes. So I think it's gonna be good.
And it's slightly more consistent than Daphnis as well. Less damage, but more consistent.
Daphnis is more consistent, I would say.
You think? Like it's
Yeah,
just
because
one
it's-
hit basically. And
Yeah, but it's 45%, and you don't know like which hit you're gonna land, so you can't ever be sure if you're gonna one-shot something, even though we have attack buff. Because you have to
Yeah,
pretty
okay,
much
you have a
like
point.
strip and defense break on the first hit and then kill them. So that's why.
You have a point. So it's like not as consistent as a nuke, but it's pretty consistent as setup. That's what I'm getting. at.
What is the cooldown on the third skill? Does anyone know?
It's 3 turn on
Three
both
turn?
both skills.
Damn.
3 turns. That's insane.
That's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh. Okay.
I smell new Metaru coming.
Yeah, the first skill is shit. Sheizu has a point with it. It kind of. I think it's like just glance and attack break. I can't remember. I think it's glance.
Yeah, it's glance and attack break for 1 turn.
Yeah, but it's not even
pretty
that
bad.
bad as a first skill. Like there's way worse at least.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I think the
second skill is good, I
multipliers are
think.
pretty low as well.
The multiplier?
Yeah. I don't. For the first skill, I think the multipliers are pretty low. Taoist.
I really
water-
haven't checked the multiplier
Let me
on the first to second, but Obabo and I we talked about the multiplier for the third skill is really high. And
First
he's-
has okay multiplier.
Let me check.
Is that close to 400? So it's half of the skill 3.
Okay, never mind.
I mean,
And
I
the
never
only part about
actually
his
built
base
any of
stats that are
them,
low is his
so-
HP. The rest of the base stats are really good.
And I think he does awaken into crit rate because or was it a dark one? I can't remember. So. Anyways, whatever.
yeah, I mean, we're probably gonna see it being used. I am for sure going to use it. I will try it out, and I will beat Seishizu with it, so he can shut the fuck up. I'm kidding.
So toxic.
But yeah, it's I will for sure build it. I'm pretty sure that Obabo is going to build it, and we're probably gonna see at least a few people build it, and I like to see it. I don't have a Shihu, so this is gonna be my Shihu basically.
I won't comment on that at all. Just that I'm really curious because when you two start cooking stuff like that, usually it ends up fucking ruining the entire meta for 3 seasons. I remember Bird. I remember Lauren. I still hate you for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then we have Flame Ascension. Increasing activation, nothing special. Magic Flute, Wind Tailwist.
Yeah, so it's like premium Mav for 2A, I guess.
Decreases the
That's all.
skill cooldown time of all allies by 1 turn. The skill cooldown time of Magic Flute will not be decreased. Does Mav not decrease its own third skill either?
I think he does. And I think he seems like a straight upgrade to Marth now, depending on your combo. Like the reason why Marth is still pretty good is because Provoke works on bosses, but I think that's like a straight upgrade to Marth. Honestly. In like the right team comp. Like you just need slow, right? Magic Flute is the second skill if I remember correctly.
I think it's the third.
Never mind then. Fuck.
But yeah, it's like I don't think I've seen him anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard to talk about it. I don't see it. It's a good addition. I just don't think it's gonna change the fact that there's other like easier acquired units to use other than him, like Mav, as an example.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you can skill him up extremely easy as well because of the fire.
Oh, that's
like
right.
That's what I'm getting at. Like,
yeah.
it's not just a premium buff, but it's also like just extremely easy skill upable as well. That kind of makes it actually interesting for like beginners and stuff. That's kind of my thing. Yeah.
Oh, we might see another video from you then. Maybe.
Probably, yeah. Eventually.
Oh, nice. All right.
It's gonna be a nice TUA montage.
All right. The Dark Tailwist stuns the enemy with the highest attack bar for 1 turn. Stuns the enemy target for 1 turn. So it's now just going to stun the target that you target, basically. Then we have the Water Bear. Nothing special. It's 30%.
I mean, they're all getting buffed, right? All the second awakening units that are listed are getting a buff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, did they make the second awakening too bad for all of them? Because that looks like a whole patch, being buffed. At least to me.
I think it's just the overall use of the unit. They might have, as I said, some kind of checklist, not a checklist, but a list that a list of data that showcase how often a unit is used.
Sample your cam.
Wait, sample the froze. All right. We can. So, what is the consensus of the second awakening? Sample will probably not be able to.
Nothing impressive, to be honest,
Yeah.
because I don't know too little about how the stats look and everything.
Yeah. To be honest, I had some opinion of the Dark Pixie, which so instead of 3 times, instead of hitting 3 times, she hits 2 times. But this time, when she absorbs energy, she's also going to reduce the cooldown of that skill. So you can actually abuse that a bit more. So we'll probably see, because I'm pretty like I played on Conflywith's account, an account that has Jaeger and has like really good quality runes, but for some reason can't get above a C1. on C3. Like even I've played on that account. Obabo's played on that account. It's so hard to play. Like for some reason, it's so hard to climb on that account. And he had a Dark Pixie runed up, and it was pretty fun to play with it. And I'd like to see it be utilized more and be shown in RTA. And the base speed is insane on her.
I would say let's skip to Leica, to the change of Leica, because that's probably the last really interesting.
Yeah, this Leica change made me Devilmon the Leica. So I was I was very hesitant on Devilmoning from the beginning, but this change gave me the courage to do it. So the first skill is his first skill is basically just gonna leech 50% of the inflicted damage, and the passive also revenge with the first skill. That's right?
When does he actually heal?
On his
now
first skill,
on every
when he
now,
revenges.
So when he revenges and when you first skill, he heals automatically.
Yeah.
So basically, Vio right now.
Yeah, Vio
is the way. I mean, wasn't he in the last Scamstone rotation? I really wanted him. I mean, I wanted Samath, but even if I didn't get Samath, I would have been really happy with the Leica because I don't have a dragon, and I'm lacking a good fire new besides Rocky, and I don't have Rocky Devilmon, and Leica is not so easy to kill. At the start, you really need a Shiho and a Deathbreak.
I mean, Shiho is a counter. Also, the Water Taoist is a counter to the Leica. So
Mina doesn't kill him.
No.
That's kind of pretty good.
Yeah, Revenge is 75.
Isn't Revenge 75% damage? Yes, it is. Yeah. But overall, I am going to use it. It's I've been looking for a fire unit to use. I Devilmon the Brandia just for this reason that I needed a fire damage unit, and the Brandia just didn't work out for me. And I mean, I had some situations today, guys. You saw that. I had some situations today on RTA. If I just had the patch, I would have won that fight. So. You
Pepega, you actually thought that the patch was out, right?
No, I didn't.
No.
Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck? The chat was Pepega. You were also Pepega, man. What the fuck?
I was confused why the chat reacted like this.
I think this is a big buff to Leica, and we're probably going to see it more. And I am going to use it very often, I think.
I mean, I really liked it already before the last buff they gave, the one to the Justice, to penetrate the invincibility and stuff like that. That was already really massive. I saw it a little bit more towards C3, G1, being picked and drafted. And I've actually lost more against it than actually won, to be fair. And now it could even be better with Vi.
Uruva, nice. And then we have bug fixes. We don't really need to look at that. And now the last point is that the dungeon AI is going to be a bit smarter. How much smarter? I have no clue. Is it going to be... What do you call it? What is the word? What is the word? Give me the word. Fuck. Reliable. Is it going to be more reliable? Is it going to be less perfect? No, fuck. All right. Hopefully. I mean, it's weird. It says more frequently. Why not just it is going to do that?
I mean, people have been requesting that for Kata Bale.
Yeah.
For Galleon to actually always skill 3, so that you can set it up, because it was super Pepega at that time, and I mean, you could kind of try to build around, even the derps and build safely, but it would have made stuff really easy. Why now and why more? Same question.
Yeah. Overall, What is your consensus of the balance patch? I'd start with Obabo.
It's a pretty good patch if you compare it to like the last two, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's like as good as the like nerf everything patch. That was the best one yet. When they like killed or tried to kill almost every unit.
Wait, which one was that? Can
That
you...
was the one when they nerfed like Arda, Ragdoll, Yanhong, Hathor, Molong.
Oh, Molong. Okay. Yeah. All right, nice. What do you think, Loqi?
Overall, I like kind of the direction where it's going. I mean, it's been 2 months or a little bit more since the last. Even if it's little changes, somehow they are not pretending to care. You know, they're actually trying to change. Even if it's little, it's overall okay. Yeah. And
but I think one of the big things is actually in the like bug fix thing, because I don't think you can proc when a Triana is taking her passive anymore, even though she's stunned. So I think she denies procs
now.
Yeah, I think so.
But that there was something like in one of the recent patches, like 2 or 3 patches ago, with the Molong, you know, or Bulwark, with 3 stacks not putting units at exactly 70% health, and Molong not one-shotting them. I think that was the season when I actually started playing RT, and that was really pissing me off because that didn't work sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
So I really like that they're actually considering these. I mean, it takes a while. You still have to admit it takes a while, but it's still okay if, you know, smaller stuff gets changed frequently and faster.
All right, and who cares about my opinion?
What do you say? Come on, man.
Who the fuck cares about my opinion?
Oh yeah.
No,
come on.
I will say what I always say. It's not big enough for me.
I mean, not even my dung beetle is big enough.
No, the change is not.
But we are missing one thing. I think we can all agree on that. It's Verd, right? I mean, Verd is the one thing that we kind of all want to have some rework.
I mean,
nerf back and forth, whatever, you know. Nerf.
It's nice that they're like. It's nice that it's only taken them 2 months since. I mean, almost. It's around 2 months, right, since the last balance patch. If they continue like gradually, because before it was like every 3 months or every like after every season, but it feels like they're implementing it more frequently. And if
they didn't do anything to Verd at all. I mean, they nerfed Ragdoll.
What I'm saying is that they're pretty fucking slow. Hopefully they become faster. This just showcased that they did this faster now. And if they like, for me, this is not enough as a change overall. I'd rather have this being like monthly. If they're going to do changes like this, make it monthly. But they touched on stuff that gives me some excitement for RTA at least. My most, which one I thought was most impactful in this case for me specifically, I think now that I can use Leica and I would say the water tail is a change for me. I know that the light oracle is probably gonna be something. Maybe not a meta, but we're gonna see it more often. Like very much more often, I would probably say, and probably in a different build as well. And yeah,
What is the most impactful for you?
Probably. I think the Leica one looks small, but it's probably like Ragdoll and Taoist. I think those are the main ones.
I mean, even at lower ranks, I would still go with Ragdoll. The Ragdoll change is pretty significant. All the other things like Leica that you mentioned, really good. Like that stuff will add some spice to it. But I think the Ragdoll change is still going to matter because there's a lot of C1, C2, C3 plebs with Ragdolls out there. And they are just getting there because of him. Yeah.
I mean, they will still get there because of him, so that's fine.
Yeah. All right. I think we can wrap it up. Good talk, everybody. Good talk.
Yep. All right.
Thank you so much, everyone.